Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Scouts Tarot, where curiosity and the divine combine. This is your October 2021 reading. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs within Sagittarius, and it is a 3-card spread, just like last month. Hopefully, last month's spread did resonate with you, and I do recommend that you, if you haven't watched it, to pop back over there just to explore what those, what that energy was, and just see how it resonates, and then come on back to this one. But I already pre-shuffled and pulled your card, so we'll jump right in. So the energy leading out of September and into October is the Lovers card, right? And this is strong Gemini energy, right? That divine pairing. A lot of times it's interpreted as like, a soulmate card, which is not wrong. I interpret it more as a partnership card, like a divine connection with another person. But this is also the sign opposite yours, Sagittarius, right? The other mutable energy for within air versus yours, which is within fire, right? Your opposing sign. So a lot of times when this energy presents itself in our lives, if it's in the sector of love, it's a new partnership might be popping up for you. Generally one that you may have, like, you had a connection before, but you didn't realize that there was a romantic connection, right? You may have been like friendly, acquaintancy, it was work, so you guys didn't do anything, like you kept it cute. But maybe something has changed, right? Leading from September and into October. Because in that September energy, there was a lot of like collaboration, but with you being the one doing the work, right? Like you have a team and it's like, okay, everybody, let's get to work. And then it's kind of like you all agree to show up at like noon on Saturday at the library, and you roll up at like 11:55. You got your bag with you, computer ready to go, and like nobody's there. And you're like in the text thread and it's like dead. And you're like, okay, what is going on here? How did this happen to me? Because you're we're willing to invest in that project or invest in that relationship, invest in the job, whatever it may be. And for the month of October, leading into October, I find that you found that other person who's like, yeah, I'm with you, like let's get this project done. Or the relationship that you're in, they're like, I saw the work that you did last month. I'm sorry that I wasn't there to help you, but I see it now. And you're working on growing that connection and building it out and fleshing it out. And for you, being, the one of the luckiest signs out there, with Jupiter being your planet, Sagittarius, that you find pleasure in working with other people and building towards something greater. The, like, your sign represents like higher education, right? So it is doing more to achieve more. And isn't it great to be able to do that with another person? Like that sounds great. It's perfect, right? And as we lead into the month of October itself, we encounter the Knight of Pentacles energy. So, Pentacles are about like stability, financial investment, security, where we place our value, where we find value, what we value in our relationships, right? And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles energy is like, now that you found that divine pairing, the person who's like, yes, this works for me. I love that. I love that you're focused on this, and you like that they love that, right? The project that you worked on turned out great, and now you have an opportunity to work on another one. You're like, this is even better. Oh my God. That you want to take on the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, of like slowing down a little bit. The Knight of Pentacles is not rushing into the battle, into the fray, right? They're suited up for it, right? Decked out from head to toe in the armor, but they're not racing off to the battle like the Knight of Wands would be, right? They're taking their time, and this is a slow and steady wins the race type energy. So I feel like as you're going into moving through the month of October, that as you're working on a new project, working on a new relationship, maybe you're thinking about maybe a job offer pops up and you're like, this is exactly what I was looking for. That you take your time as you're making that choice. So like, okay, dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure everything looks good. It's not that you don't necessarily trust it, but you want to make sure that it does align with the direction you're trying to head in, Sagittarius, because you're a goal oriented sign. That, yeah, you may get caught up in the excitement of an event and something new, not unlike Gemini, but as Sagittarians like to take aim before they fire, right? And that's the energy that I'm reading with the Knight of Pentacles, is that he's scoping out everything first before he lays down that coin, before he takes, before this horse takes that step and you start moving forward. It's like, let me make sure this is what I'm looking for. Which then takes us to the Four of Pentacles energy leading out of October and into November. And what I'm picking up here is that as you start moving forward, right, that like, okay, I'm going to take on this part of the project. Okay, I'm going to start, this, I will start a new relationship with this new person, because again, it could very well be romantic, the Lover's card here, that someone new comes into your life and you decide, okay, how about, let's go to the movies, let's go out to dinner, let's, go to a bar, whatever it is, let's go for a walk in the park. And, you take that opportunity, that when you hit the Four of Pentacles energy, that you're making sure that you're not necessarily you're holding on too tight to the idea of, what you want the relationship to be, that you're being real, like you're both being realistic in what you want out of it, right? They're like, okay, so I want this, I'm looking for that. Are we on the same page? Okay, great. Because if we're going to do this, if we're really going to invest our coins and find that stability and find that value in, in each other, and build that value in each other, that we are at least on the same page, please. Because you don't want to waste your time, right, Sagittarius? Especially after September, and you went through it with the Chariot card and trying to figure out like what direction you were heading in. You finally got that direction, and you now find that project, person, place, or thing that aligns with you. That you're taking your time, because once you get there, you don't want to find yourself like holding on too tight to something that doesn't actually. It's not exactly what you want, right? That it doesn't fully line up with what you're looking for. And you may find yourself, just holding on to something that you probably should let go of. All right, so let's pull an Oracle of the Seven Energies card to get some energetic advice with this Lover's energy, right? Like it could be romantic, it could be in a project that you're working on. Yes, it could be in career, in the workplace. But the question we have is, what energy does Sagittarius need to harness, to take into account as they move through the first few days and weeks of October, leading out of September? Now knowing that we have, a good idea of what Sagittarians are looking for in the month of October, right? You put in the work in September. You made sure that you dotted the I's and crossed the T's. Now that you're moving into October, how much more of that needs to happen, right? So let's see what the Oracle of the Seven Energies has in store for Sagittarius. I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What energetic advice do the Oracle of the Seven Energies cards have for dear Sagittarius? We are looking for one card, please. Solo uno. All right, well, this is a major arcana energy, so it may take a while for the cards to break down exactly the right advice for you, because it could be an overarching issue, right? Like maybe this isn't the first time you got stuck, doing the project by yourself, or you got stuck doing the work in the relationship. And you're like, look, if I'm going to do this again, I'm going to need some real advice here to make sure that like, this is legit. Because if I get stuck holding the bag again, I'm going to be pissed, right? Especially with that Knight of Pentacles energy. It's kind of like, yeah, what is it exactly? Oh, there it is. That you need to be doing to make sure that you're on the right track. And we have the higher view. So the higher view energy is asking you, take a step back, maybe walk up the stairs, take a look down to see, the whole layout type thing. Because there are times when we think we know what's happening around us, right? That you see the Lovers card, you see the pairing. Like, these folks are looking at each other, right? They're not necessarily looking at like what could very well look like chaos happening around them. What's happening here, or at least what the Oracle of the Seven Energies card is asking you to do, is recognize that sometimes the realities of like adulthood and the work that we have to do, the challenges we experience, that's not all that life is about, right? The higher view card asks you to rise above and take a broader look at like the overall, events and lessons that you've learned in life. What does it mean to you as it plays out? And again, like, you don't want to make the same mistakes as you made before, right? And with the Lover's energy of trying to find that divine connection, that partnership with another person, that loving match with a partner, that you're taking a step back and taking a moment to look for those moments of like, yeah, that's a flag, or that was a really good thing, or I kind of had that experience with this person, kind of don't want to deal with that again. So let me be clear this time, right? Let me be like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. We're matching up. This is good. I can work on this type of project because it has a realistic deadline or an effective strategy. I can, go on, I feel comfortable going on dates with you because you ain't just like, hey, babe, can you cover this? Like, I did that before and I'm not about that life. Or, you know what I mean? The higher view card wants you to recognize the patterns in the map of your life and the journey of your life, and just, see where else you could go, right? Instead of going down that same path that you've done before, maybe it's time to take a left or a right here versus going straight like you did before. A new path from a higher perspective. So now we're going to shift to the wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck, and we're going to get some energetic advice related to this Knight of Pentacles energy. The slow and steady wins the race. That, yes, sometimes it takes a minute for success, progress, victory, all that to come through because, ooh, geez, I didn't even get to finish my sentence. Sometimes good things take time, right? Here we are. So we have the Altar Priestess, Jesus. This is number 39, and I'm going to read this one from the book. Okay, 39, just a bit more. Okay, there we are. The Altar Priestess. So the stage is set, and the world is waiting for you to take your place in sacred meditation and prayer. The Altar Priestess brings the ritual of reverent interaction with the mundane world. You're being required now to see everything as sacred, all of life as a meditation, and every action as a prayer of devotion. When you're able to perceive the world in this way, your question will lead you to the appropriate answer, right? That higher view. The higher view, yes, it could be like, that overlooking, standing over something, but it could also be just taking a different view, right? Like perhaps for you, you always looked at your issues from like a binary, lens of like yes, no, left, right, up, down, black, white. In this instance, I feel like the Altar Priestess, in order for you to get to this Knight of Pentacles energy, the Altar Priestess is asking you to yell. Why don't you look at, how you look at the world, and then figure out, well, how can you look at it differently? Like if it's not black, white, and it's all, it's a gray area, well, what does that gray area look like in reality? So like, yeah, maybe in the relationship, you want, a couple of very specific things, and you connect with that person, and they're like, yeah, but I could do this and that maybe, but really I like both. Is that okay for me to like both? And instead of, repeating lessons of the past, you take that step back, right? And you lean into the sacred energy. Let me take a second. Like, is it really that important to me that this is, that this is what I get? Because again, it takes time to get to success. It takes time to get to real substantial progress and victory. But you want to make sure that as you're putting in this work and you start to move forward, that you're being honest about what it is that you're looking for, and instead of being so cut and dry about it, that maybe, yeah, take time to pull back and see it from a different perspective and realize that, yeah, it may not be exactly what you wanted, but in a way it's what you need, right? And sometimes it's hard to recognize what you need when you're only looking at it from one perspective of want, right? And the Lover's card is about that divine connection, and it is about having that faith and coming from a place of divinity, right? And recognizing the sacred and having that opportunity to embrace that energy will give, your Knight of Wands energy, Knight of Pentacles energy, the opportunity to be like, yes, I will take this step, right? We will go this way, because you want, the progress that you make to lead you in the direction that you want to go, Sagittarius. You don't just want to end up wherever. You have a goal in life, right? You want to be, at a place where you feel valued, in a relationship where you feel loved, and you can express love in a way that is healthy, and that your partner can reciprocate. So yeah, it's important to take that time to acknowledge what makes you feel good, what makes them feel good, where you find value, and all that jazz. Because the Knight of Pentacles, when it starts moving, it is moving with intent and moving with just cause. It's not just like, dancing and frolicking. It's moving with purpose. So that brings us to our last card of the Four of Pentacles energy. And we're going to ask the Super Attractor Oracle deck for some advice for you, Sagittarius. Like, what advice does the fire sign of Sagittarius need going into November, out of October? Celestial Divine. You're looking for one card, please. One card that can guide, dear Sagittarius, in the direction that they need to go in. And here we are. When I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. All right, we'll read that one more time. When I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. Interesting. Okay, so again, with that Four of Pentacles, I don't even know if this is fully on screen, so apologies. When that Four of Pentacles energy sets in, especially after the Knight of Pentacles energy, and you start making that progress, and you start acknowledging where you find value and the direction you want to move in, whether it's moving with your relationship. So say that goal is you guys get a place together. It's like, okay, well, what kind of place? Do you want to live, in the city, live in the country? Do you want, duplex? Do you want tiny house? Like, what is it? As you're figuring that out, the Four of Pentacles energy can sometimes give off that concern of holding on too tight to okay, well, you said you wanted this, and being too rigid in that approach, right? And holding on to some of the materialistic aspects, when in reality, the point of you guys getting a place together is to be together, right? To enjoy each other's space, to be able to express the love, that you have for each other in a healthy way. And so again, this card, the advice is saying that when you surrender to what it is that you want, what you really want to the universe, that you want that connection, right? That Lover's energy. You want your journey to be one that's going towards success, right? You don't want it to go towards issues and challenge and disappointment and despair. You don't want that. You want it to go in a direction where you find value, feel valued, express love, have love, give love. When you surrender those desires and let go of the materialistic stuff of the Four of Pentacles energy, that that faith that you need in your divine connection with your person or with the work that you're doing will show itself, right? It will present itself and settle in to your journey, right? This horse will carry that faith along with you on that journey. So every time it takes a step, every time you get closer to it, Sagittarius, and again, being the archer and aiming for your success, that it will continue to grow. That faith, that acknowledgement of success will continue to grow, because you're surrendering, maybe not surrender, but you're sending up, right, your desires and the love that you want to have and the love you want to express to the universe. And the universe will, of course, align with what you give. All right, Sagittarius, it does conclude your October 2021 reading. I hope that resonated with you. Please do like, share, subscribe, and then comment in below this video if, yes, this resonated, but also what this journey looks like for you. I'm very curious to see, how this plays out. Just remember, hold the lines, stay steady, and await that divine growth. All right, I will see you in November.